So today was really a long day. Aleyna stayed up all night last night. She was having a lot of anxiety because she had surgery today on her teeth. So she has sleep apnea. She typically sleeps with her mouth wide open and just leaving your airway, your mouth open like that causes cavities. And then she also has Stickler syndrome, which with that illness, teeth are typically really small. They're hard to clean. And so often you get cavities. Um, so it's my first experience with any of my kids getting those caps on their teeth, the silver caps on their teeth. And so she was really upset about it. But let me go back, because yesterday I read a book to her about going to the dentist and whatever, and she was like, okay. And then in the evening, I explained what we would be doing today. It's her birthday today, but that was the only availability they had due to COVID. They had limited availability. So I was explaining that once she gets her teeth fixed, then we'll celebrate her birthday. And so she was like, okay, that's fine. But she has a huge fear of doctors. So she was really brave. She was excited about it. And so I didn't really go into detail about the surgery and the severity of it. I didn't want to scare her. But she had a lot of anxiety. So she didn't go to bed until about 2:30 a.m. And then we got her up at 4:30. So she only slept that 2 hours. We made the hour drive out to the Children's Hospital. And then she seemed fine. She was really brave. Everything was going really good up until it was time for them to put the mask on to put her to sleep. She went crazy. So they had to hold her down for a minute, and then she passed out. And so the procedure was actually 2 hours. And almost all of her teeth are bad. We just went to the dentist like 2 months ago. And the dentist said, okay, we need this dental work. I agreed. And then today they said her teeth have already gotten worse over the last 2 months. I was like, that's impossible. She doesn't have candy. She constantly brushes morning and night. I don't understand. She's very meticulous about brushing, and she flosses. And I was just talking to the doctor about it. It's like, all of my kids have good teeth. I've always made sure they brush, and it's just different with her. It's different with her than the other kids. She loves candy. She does love candy, but I typically don't allow it. So anyway, we were talking, and the doctor said raisins, which is her favorite. Oh my gosh. She has a box of raisins every single day. And I typically allow it. I thought that they were healthy. I thought it was a healthy snack, and I encouraged her to eat that rather than candy. And I found out, no, raisins are very bad for your teeth. They're sticky, and so they stick in your teeth. It's hard to get them off of your teeth. They get stuck in the crevices of your teeth, and they can cause severe cavities. But also she has her illness and stuff, which causes the cavities to be worse. But I felt so bad. I thought they were healthy and everything. I was like, oh my God. I definitely will not be buying raisins for her anymore. I thought they were healthy. Oh my gosh. So I was mistaken. Anyway, it was really hard to wake her up. We were trying to wake her up, and she was just passed out. And so it was hard. She would open her eyes a little bit, but go back to sleep. And so we stayed at the hospital for a really long time. I guess we finished about maybe 11:30 noon. So from 5:45 to around 11:30 or noon. And then once they saw that she was fine, we were discharged to come home. She slept the entire drive home. Once we got home, she slept for a really long time. And then once she woke up, I was telling her, you've got to gargle salt water. So let's go, rinse your mouth out. And once she saw her teeth, she started crying. She got really emotional, and she continued all night. We're almost at midnight and she's finally asleep. She was crying off and on all night. I felt so bad, my poor baby. And she's like, I don't want silver teeth. They're ugly. And I said, no, you're beautiful. It doesn't matter. I was explaining you have bad teeth and, what happened. And so other family had come over to visit, and all they said, they'd just mention her teeth and she'd start crying. Or they'd say, are you all right? You had your surgery? And she'd start crying. So we went to the store. I wanted to get a gift for her birthday today. And she picked out a doll, and she was okay using her mask. She seemed comfortable. But then once she took her mask off, there came the tears again. She said, I hate the way I look. It's ugly. And they pulled her 2 front teeth. So her 2 front teeth are gone. They were going to fall out anyway. She's 6. I didn't want them to cap those 2 front teeth. So they went ahead and pulled them out. And I was willing to pay for like the white porcelain crowns. But they said that her teeth were just too tiny. It was too hard to make them fit. They tried with the crowns, and it just wasn't going to work. They were too bulky, and they showed me pictures. It was just way too big. So anyways, we had to do the silver. We didn't have a choice. So she was really upset with all of my kids. Well, one of my older kids, he had silver teeth, but he already had them before he moved at 5. So this was my first experience going through the actual procedure, and I just felt like a terrible mother. I was like, oh, I should have saved her teeth. I should have been more careful. And the doctor was like, well, she has these illnesses, and they cause that. So, but I just still felt really bad. It was a hard day, and Paco's exhausted. He was up all night. Then we did the procedure. We were there at the hospital all day. Came home, and then he had to go work out in the heat, installing sod. And so that was very labor intense. So he was just exhausted. He's in bed now, and Aleyna went and laid next to her daddy. So I don't know where I'm supposed to sleep. Anyway, but I'll post pictures. Hopefully by tomorrow she'll not be as emotional. I think with the medication being in her system, it made her more emotional. And then she was vomiting blood. And so anyway, fingers crossed. I'm praying for her. I was planning on having a little birthday celebration on Sunday, but she's saying she doesn't want it. She's embarrassed of her teeth. And I was like, stop being silly. She's just crying and crying. So once she's a little less emotional, then I can talk about planning her birthday celebration. She's 6 today, my last baby. Anyway, I'll post the photos, and that way you can get an idea of what it looks like. Love you. Bye.